There are moments when anxiety doesn't arrive as panic. It comes quietly. Your heart beats a little faster for no clear reason. Your thoughts won't settle, even when everything around you looks fine. You're not overwhelmed, just uneasy, restless in a way that's hard to explain. You try to breathe through it. You try to distract yourself. You even try to pray, but the tension stays. And what makes it confusing is this: nothing is obviously wrong. Life continues. Responsibilities are met. Faith is still present. Yet inside, something feels alert, as if you're bracing for something you can't see. Anxiety often lives in that space, not loud enough to be noticed, not strong enough to stop you, just constant enough to wear you down. You may wonder why this is happening when you're doing your best to trust God, why your mind feels crowded when your faith hasn't left, why peace feels harder to reach than it used to. If this is where you are, you don't need to label it or fix it right now. You don't need to force calm or pretend strength. This moment is not about answers. It's about honesty. Because anxiety doesn't mean God has moved away. And feeling unsettled does not mean you're failing spiritually. If you're carrying that quiet tension, stay here, not to escape it, but to sit with it without being alone. Anxiety often hides behind competence. You keep functioning, you show up, you do what's required. But inside, your thoughts run ahead of you, rehearsing conversations, replaying possibilities, preparing for outcomes that haven't happened. Your body may feel tired, yet your mind stays awake. Even rest doesn't fully rest you. And when things finally go quiet, that's when the noise inside becomes louder. You might feel pressure without knowing where it started, a subtle fear that something could go wrong, a sense of being responsible for holding everything together. Spiritually, this can feel isolating. You still believe, you still trust God, but anxiety makes faith feel fragile, as if one wrong thought might undo it. Prayer can become short, scattered, repetitive, not because you don't care, but because words feel insufficient, and sometimes you wonder if you should feel more peace by now. This is the weight many carry silently, not crisis, but constant tension, not despair, but unease that doesn't leave. Naming this does not weaken your faith. It clarifies it. Anxiety is not a lack of trust. It's often the result of caring deeply in an uncertain world. And God is not offended by your uneasiness. He is not distant because your thoughts are restless. This block offers no solution, only recognition. If anxiety has been rising quietly in you, you are not strange, you are not alone, and you are not beyond God's care. One of the most difficult parts of anxiety is feeling unheard. You bring your worries to God, yet the feelings don't immediately change. You ask for peace, but your thoughts continue, and silence can start to feel personal. But silence is not rejection. God's silence is not the absence of care. It is often the presence of steadiness. While anxiety pulls your mind forward, God remains anchored where you are. He is not rushing you toward calm. He is not demanding clarity. He is not waiting for you to figure it out. Silence does not mean God is unsure of you. It often means He is allowing your faith to deepen beyond feeling. This season may be forming endurance, not dramatic strength, but quiet trust. Not emotional certainty, but grounded presence. You are not expected to resolve anxiety through belief alone. God does not shame restless minds. He stays with them. If God feels quiet right now, it does not mean you have been left alone with your thoughts. It means He is closer than noise, steady, patient, unthreatened by your questions. Silence is not empty. It is holding you, even when your mind keeps moving. Into this quiet tension, Psalm 91 does not arrive as an answer. It arrives as company. It does not challenge your anxiety. It does not correct your thoughts. It simply places God beside you. He who dwells in the shelter of the Most High will rest in the shadow of the Almighty. Psalm 91 does not promise a life without fear. It speaks openly of night, danger, uncertainty, because it was written for real conditions, not ideal ones. And instead of removing those realities, it introduces something stronger: God's shelter. Shelter is not control, it is covering. This psalm reminds us that protection is not something you earn through calm thinking or perfect trust. It is something God provides because He remains present. Anxiety may rise within you, but it does not rise above God's care. Psalm 91 does not demand that your thoughts settle before you are held. It does not require emotional stability before rest is possible. It simply invites you to dwell, to stay close. God remains when your mind races. God remains when your heart feels unsettled. God remains when peace feels delayed. This psalm walks with you through anxious moments, not to silence them immediately, but to remind you that you are not exposed while carrying them. Nothing in your anxiety surprises God. Nothing in your restlessness pushes Him away. When anxiety rises, God does not retreat. He remains steady, present, and near. Take a pause here. You don't need to slow your thoughts. You don't need to solve what you're feeling. Just allow your body to rest for a moment. Let your shoulders drop, even slightly. Let your breathing become natural, without effort. Psalm 91 is not calling you to vigilance. It is calling you to dwell. Imagine shelter not as a place you must reach, but as something already surrounding you. A presence that does not depend on how calm or anxious you feel. Your thoughts can come and go. They do not threaten this moment. You are not required to feel peaceful to be protected. You are not required to understand to be safe. God's presence does not fluctuate with your anxiety. It remains constant, steady, unaffected by the movement inside your mind. Stay here for a few breaths. Nothing is expected of you. Nothing needs to be resolved. Even now, you are not exposed. Even now, God remains. Let this quiet rest be enough for this moment. If this moment met you gently, allow it to remain gentle. There is no need to rush back into noise or certainty. Some moments are meant to carry forward quietly, without explanation. Anxiety may still rise after this. That does not mean something failed. It means you are human, and God remains present within that reality. Psalm 91 does not promise that anxious thoughts will never return. It promises that when they do, you are not uncovered. This psalm is not meant to be consumed once and left behind. It is meant to be returned to again and again, especially in moments when your mind feels unsettled. When anxiety rises, return to shelter. When thoughts scatter, return to presence. You do not need to walk this alone. You do not need to figure everything out before resting. If this space brought you even a small sense of grounding, you are welcome to return. These psalms are walking with you, quietly, faithfully, one day at a time. Remain close, not because everything feels calm, but because God remains, even when anxiety rises.